Even if I just got lucky, I am an emperor, same as him! And I want to be king! The king of the pirates!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bugster channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick little game with OP14 Black Croc. The previous video was kind of going over the Black Croc, so I won't talk too much about the basics of the deck as we're playing through. But we're going to be going against the green-yellow Trafalgar Law here. It's really strong. It's not the best anymore. It seems like for the most part what you're doing is you're bouncing a character back to hand, flipping the top card of your life up, and if you played a supernova or you bounce a supernova's type, you can then play it again, which is really strong in some cases. So at first we went second here because he took first. That first search that we did, we just kind of searched with the Miss Valentine. Now we're kind of playing off the Mr. 2. This is kind of going quick because I'm doing a voiceover for this one. But yeah, so we searched with the Valentine. We then played the Mr. 2, and we're just going to let him sit there because there's no characters on field for us to swing into. He plays the carrot, which was weird because it's on play. It's a rested 7 cost or less, and our Mr. 2 is not rested. However, in this case, it's not the worst play. I think he just kind of wanted a body out to make it a little bit even. So he did play that carrot, and now he's just going to swing a 5 at face. Because we can play so much stuff from our trash, I'm not too worried about losing some of our 5 costs, so I counter-added that with a 1k. For our 6 dawn turn, I'm kind of sitting here wondering what to do. I think what I do here first, is I bait with some attacks first, just because I would rather kill that carrot if we can. Sorry if you can hear my cat. I would rather kill that carrot if we can. However, I know I don't have the Mr. 1 in trash. You can see me checking for it there. So we have to kind of play a risky gamble game. So I leave 6 dawn up because I know I'm going to be able to play that blocker that we trash or counter the previous turn, at least draw 2 cards. So maybe I'm kind of filtering forward a little bit more. Maybe I can play it this turn. Sadly, I don't find it. So then I play another blocker, and because there's still a 0 cost in their field, we draw 2 more cards and trash 1 more again. Luckily, on that second kind of mill search, we get the Mr. 1, and now we have a ton of cards in hand, which is really nice. We also established 2 6k blockers, and we still have 1 dawn up for our ground death, which we have 11 in trash at this moment in time. I think I kind of hover over the trash here in a minute, kind of showcasing that. The next kind of line you can see me kind of pointing out is going to be the Mr. 1 and then the Miss Wednesday, minusing power to that carrot to kill it. However, he plays the Trafalgar Law to heal a life. So it's going to be a little tough because now I have to survive 2 6k swings because I know he's going to swing with his leader and once with the carrot. And then I have to figure out what to do here the following turn. So you can see me kind of thinking, like, would I rather minus a ton of cost to the carrot and kill it? Would I rather play, I think I'm on my 6 dawn turn here, so would I rather play the Crocodile the following turn? Or maybe rather play the Almost Sunday? So I'm kind of just sitting here thinking, and I think the opponent is also thinking what the best kind of line here is. So he's going to be swinging with the leader and carrot here in just a moment. I think he's kind of just slow playing. So yeah, he's, or not slow playing, but just kind of thinking his options there. Luckily we have a couple of those 2Ks that kind of KO an enemy stage, which we don't really need. And I'd rather not burn a ground death if I have 2Ks in hand that I can pitch for counter. So we go ahead and pitch those 2Ks. I'm just checking how many cards in hand and kind of the tempo that we're at. And I'm much more ahead, so I'm okay with losing another 2K if I need. I know those are 2Ks. We don't run a ton in this deck. I mean, like compared to the OP09 Buggy, which runs like 16, we don't really run too many. But I'm kind of just checking my trash here, making sure I know everything. I see a Crocodile in there, which kind of sucks. I know a Babe is in there as well, so I'm going to have to make sure I don't get rid of the other Babe. I'm also checking mostly just for the Miss Sunday, trying to figure out what I want to do, because I am on my 8 dawn turn, so I could freeze the Massive Law and the carrot if I wanted to. However, I'm also sitting on my board and looking at my board. I'm like, okay, I have 2 blockers, not totally sure what the best move here is. And then I eventually kind of settle for the Miss Sunday because I think it's going to be the best option, especially since I know I have the Mr. 2 and I can play the Miss Valentine, or the Searcher that was in there. Yeah, the Miss Valentine. which I do. I then search for another ground death, just because always search for ground deaths if you can, because we have no way to pull it out of the trash once it's trashed. I'm just gonna then swing with my leader, I believe, or I do the KO first, and then I get the Mr. 1 out of hand. Yeah, I think that's what I do. So I KO. I'm kind of trying to think here like what I want to -10 to, because in my head I could rest the law -3 to it, so it's a 6. However, I'm kind of sitting here. I'm like, okay, cool. We have to just give up one counter. I'm not gonna be able to kill it easily. So eventually, I just settle on resting the carrot, or giving the rush to the carrot. I then -3 to it, and I'm gonna swing 6 into 3. That way, I know he's gonna at least give up the carrot, and there's not a body on field I have to worry about, especially resting my rested characters. At this point, I swing 5 with lead, and then I look at the board, and I'm not totally sure if I want to swing with the Mr. 5s just yet, but I know I will at some point in time. Especially with how this game has so far been going. I know he can heal life, however, I'm kind of just freezing his board over and over again, and or I will be here in a minute, and I've already kind of nuked his board a little bit. He will have some pretty decent swings here, but luckily we're pretty even, and my board state is much better than his. If I'm not mistaken, this term, I think he prioritizes killing the Mr. 1 with a leader swing and then with the law swing. If I'm not mistaken, I think I pitch either the zombie Luffy or I pitch the other Mr. 1 to get out of the leader swing, and then I let him take it with the law swing. So we'll give that a second. Yeah, so I think I pitch the other Mr. 1 because I know I'll have one in trash at least now. And then he's going to... I thought here he'd probably swing for life, so that's why I trashed the other one. Just because I know it's going to be a lot easier to find in trash if I have at least one. So we go ahead, and because he has 2 massive bodies on field, I'm kind of just going to freeze it. I'm thinking about searching there, but I end up not searching just because there's no real point. I also... look for the opportunity to kind of like what do I want to swing with here. I look at his board, like he literally has no board. He literally has not like a ton of cards in hand. He definitely has more than me, so I'm trying to get cards out of hand, or at least make him take life. So in this situation, I'm kind of being aggressive, and I swing with that Mr. 5, even though most of the time you don't. I just know he doesn't have a board, and he most likely is only going to be able to play 1 rush body, so I leave the other one up, just in case. I also do have 2 Dawn up remaining for the rest of the ground deaths. Now, the only issue with this board state is while his board is completely frozen, and technically I am beating him in tempo, eventually he will beat me. So I have to either make sure to find a croc the following turn. I think I checked my trash here in a moment and realized that there's 2 crocs in trash. So that I only have 1 more in the deck, or in my life. Or, what I'll honestly do is play the zombie Luffy the following turn, because I know I have 20 or more in trash. So I believe here this was also a misplay on his part. So he does he gives a rested to his leader, which is fine. He then restands a bunch of his Dawn, and then I believe yeah, he gives no rest to that blocker there. I'm kind of sitting there, like I'm still sitting here now, like trying to figure out what he wants to do. I'm kind of like wondering, like, okay, he can only swing with lead. So I go ahead and let that Mr. 5 go, because I'm not too worried about it. I would rather not pitch the only 1k counter I have in hand, and that I could get some value out of the next turn, because I know I'm at like, I think it's at 23 cards in trash at this point. He also has no life. I know he's going to heal using the Law ability, bouncing that back to hand, or trashing it and bouncing that. He then plays the Law again, so he'll heal 2 times, which is fine. And then he's probably going to swing, I think he also misplayed this turn and swing 7 into the Miss Sunday, not realizing she's an 8k power. So I kind of just let this go. Which this happens, I do this all the time. I think I've messed up the math on multiple occasions, especially on the sim. Where you can't really take anything back, swinging just under what the character actually is, especially with the power gaining characters. So I searched there for the other croc, which is amazing because that's the only other one I need. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the thing and just freeze his entire board, which is amazing, and then we're just gonna hit him. At this point in the game, he has 5 cards in hand. He basically has no board except for that 1 6k that I can deal with easily, and we still have 1 Dawn up for another ground death. We're going to go ahead and just start swinging. I think he got a trigger there, but decided not to use it. I'm going to swing 8 into life, which I don't... He gets out of using a counter event and then 1 other card. The counter event gets him up to 8, so it's a 3k counter. Yeah, it's the Demon Sword style. I forgot the full name because it's super long. And I swing 10. I believe at this point in time, he concedes the match, if I'm not mistaken. Or he plays one other thing. If I'm not mistaken, I think he concedes. But overall, this match is not too bad, actually. I thought this. I've never really played against the green-yellow law, but it seems that our kind of technique of just freezing everything, especially if you can't find all of those laws. He hasn't really been searching all games, so it's kind of hard. It's pretty tough. Actually, before he concedes, he plays that law, bouncing it back to hand. He plays the Nami, which is not bad because I take the life, so now I'm at 3. However, I believe this turn he tries to then bounce the... so I take the life. I believe he then tries to bounce the Nami back to hand, not realizing that his leader ability needs a life card to flip up in order to pull it off. I believe he has another law in hand or something else he was going to play in hand to either gain a life or establish a blocker. So he bounces the Nami back to hand here in a moment, realizing that he can't play anything else off, and I think from that point he concedes. Kind of go ahead and skip here a moment because I think he's thinking. Yeah, so he swings with his leader, and then he swings with the Bonnie, both of which I counter out of using these 2Ks. So I counter out of this this swing here with the 2K. I counter out of the leader swing here with the 2K, and then we keep going. He bounces the Nami back to hand. He realizes that he doesn't have any life cards to play. I believe he was going to play the Law from his hand, which is really good, actually, healing another life. But he needs a life card in order to do that. So because of our massive swing of 5, 6, 8, 10, the previous turn where he had to take it all because he had no blockers at the time, we win this game. Overall, not bad. Honestly, I think the green-yellow law matchup is just really rough. It's really interesting. Obviously, you can see at the top here he's running some yellow slop. But it seems like a really interesting deck. Obviously, I'm only going to be sticking to Croc skill, but I might give it a shot. Might try it out. I just think Croc might be a pretty hard counter to that deck because while it does free stuff, Crocodile will just KO whatever is frozen and play something else better, like the Mr. 1 you can see at the top of the deck there, especially with that Mr. 2. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. I'll probably try to upload another one by today, as this matchup was alright. It seemed that there was a lot of misplays on his part, which, I mean, no hate. We all get that point. Get that sometimes. I've misplayed pretty hard in the past. I still misplay now. It just seemed like a lot of misplays. Seems like he couldn't find what he needed, and especially that final misplay of him bouncing that Nami back to hand, not being able to play the Law. I think that kind of was the nail in the coffin. But yeah, just super quick matchup. Didn't want to take too long. I'll probably try to voice over the matchups from now on. It's a little hard because I like to play like really lightning quick, but I will try my best to voice over because I think it's a lot more coherent when I voice over it instead of in person or like live. Just because when it's happening live, I have to sit there and think for a little bit and kind of understand what's going on. If I voice over it, I can kind of go back and reflect on what I was thinking instead of just being like, I don't know what's going on. I hope he does what I think he's going to do. So, but yeah, so anyway, I'll probably try to post another either Croc video today or another Buggy video today, and we'll get some more matchup for you guys. Yeah, awesome. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.